Hello and welcome back to This Brown Geek. Today I'm diving into something that I've wanted to revisit for quite a while, the Clix keyboard, this time for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Let's get into it. If you remember, just over a year ago, I made a video about this product, but I didn't have it in my hands at the time. Let's just say that video didn't really go down too well with some of you. I had a lot of negative comments, and people were pretty upset that I judged it without actually using it. Well, now I've got it, I've tested it, and I'm here to give you my honest opinion. Also, I need to tell you right off the bat that I did encounter an issue with customer service, and the co-founder of Clix, the YouTuber Michael Fisher, also known as Mr. Mobile, actually responded on X and then responded to my email. If you want to know what went down with that, then stick around and watch this video. First off, I want to address those comments from last year. I've got a few here that I want to read out and respond to, because I think it's important to show that while I might have been a bit harsh back then, my assumptions were mostly correct. So here's comment 1 from Chris Rock Jr. 1. He said, "You don't even have the device at hand. I think the validity of your claims is worsened by that." Well, Chris Rock, if that is your real name, I hear you, which is why I bought it to test it. Turns out that my initial thoughts weren't far off, especially about the size and weight issues, but I'll admit that I might have been a tad harsh in that video. On to the second comment, which is from JJRman1674. He says, "Everyone is allowed their opinion, but in terms of content, this is a lame way of jumping on a successful reviewer's product to gain your own views and subscribers. This video is stupid." Now you listen here, mother. Okay, JJRman1674. Prior to making that video, I hadn't even heard of Mr. Mobile. I wasn't jumping on a successful YouTuber's products for views. I saw that this was talked about at CES that year, and I wanted to share my thoughts on it. It's really as simple as that. Anyways, all feedback is welcome here, so no hard feelings. And finally, the last comment was from Mike Sasubi5909. "It isn't for everyone, it is for those that want a throwback device. Stop hating." The worst part is he doesn't even have one to review, and yet he has so much to say. Oh, okay then. Okay, Mike Subi 5909. I appreciate your perspective, and you're right, it does cater to those who love a throwback BlackBerry vibe. Now that I have it in my hands, I can see its appeal for some people, but the drawbacks, which I'll talk about in this video, are enough for me to not want to keep this keyboard. So let's get into the keyboard itself, and then I'll tell you about the customer service issue I had that prompted Mr. Mobile himself to get involved. The Clix keyboard is well made, I'll give it that. The volume and power buttons are brushed metal, which feels premium. The keyboard keys are more ergonomic than before, and it supports MagSafe, which is great for using other accessories. It also has USB-C pass-through for things like CarPlay, which is a nice touch. I've got a couple of problems. The first thing is the magnet is super weak. So you see how it just comes off so easily? Now if I use my iPhone with my other case on it, or the iPhone by itself, then this MagSafe mount is really strong, and it fills me with confidence, and it doesn't make me feel like it's going to fall off. So not only does the Clix keyboard make your iPhone heavier, the magnets that they use for their MagSafe solution aren't strong. So you're kind of screwed both ways. I mean, do they not test these things? And then there's another problem after that. They say that this Clix keyboard case works with wired Apple CarPlay. Here's the wire that I've always used for my Apple CarPlay. Now normally I can plug this into my phone one-handed and push the USB-C cable in without the phone falling off the MagSafe mount. But because this magnet in the Clix keyboard is so weak, if I try to push the USB-C cable in one-handed, it just falls off. Okay, so now as you can see, the USB-C cable is attached. It's always worked. It was working before I put the Clix keyboard on. Anyways, it's attached now, and let's see if Apple CarPlay with the Clix keyboard works. Oh, look at that. Please connect a phone that supports Android Auto or Apple CarPlay via an approved USB cable. Well, that's just great, isn't it? So not only is the magnet super weak in the Clix keyboard, the Apple CarPlay wire doesn't even work. Michael Fisher, Mr. Mobile. I mean, what is going on, dude? Seriously. I mean, come on. Anyways, back to This Brown Geek in the studio. It has keyboard shortcuts, which are pretty cool, and I like that the keyboard is backlit. It also feels like a quality product, but here's where it falls short for me. In the UK, it costs £129, and in the US, it's $159, which is not cheap. More importantly, it becomes obsolete as soon as you upgrade your phone. which for many of us is either every year or every 2 years, or well, maybe every 3 years. And then there's the size. It adds a lot of weight and length to your iPhone, making it absolutely massive. I mean, look at it. Especially on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, it's top heavy, so when you're typing, it feels like it's gonna slip out of your hands. That might be okay for some people, but for people with smaller hands, it's a real issue. Even though they suggest holding it a certain way, there's no real way to mitigate that top heaviness. That said, I can see why some people like it. If you type a lot on your phone and prefer physical keys, Clicks might be for you. It does give you that nostalgic BlackBerry feel, and you do get more usable screen space, which is nice. But for me, the cons outweigh the pros, especially when you consider the price and the customer service hassle. I also want to mention that I'm not the only one who's had these thoughts. The absolutely gigantic YouTuber, Mr. Who's the Boss, gave his opinion on Clicks as well recently, and he gave it a 4 out of 10 rating, pointing out a lot of the same issues that I had.
All this reminds me of is why I choose not to use a BlackBerry anymore. The phone is so heavy and you're holding it with your hands cramped down at the bottom here, so there is so much tipping force pulling it over. So, rating-wise, I wouldn't say this is garbage. There will be users out there who love this thing so much that they'd be happy to put up with all of the compromises. Am I one of them? Probably not. It's not really clicking with me. 4 out of 10.
He did then admit that he wasn't testing the latest version, but the issues he had with it still mostly stand, if you ask me. And he will find that out for himself too if he reviews this latest version. Now let me tell you about their customer service, because honestly that's where things got messy for me. Before that, a word from this video's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Inu. Now full disclosure, Inu did reach out to me to sponsor this video, and they did provide these 2 power banks, but I have been using Inu products for quite a while now. Starting off with this one, this is the Inu P63. It's the market's smallest 25,000 mAh power bank. It outputs 100 watts, which is incredible because I can charge my MacBook with it. When I was on location recently filming a movie, this was charging my camera and my spare batteries. It charges super quickly, it has power delivery, it has 2 USB-C outputs and 1 USB-A output. It comes with a little carrying case and a USB-C cable. This one here that you saw standing on the side is the Inu P73. It is the slimmest 10,000 mAh battery on the market with Qi 2 wireless charging. As you can see here with my 16 Pro Max, it just attaches to the back and it will start charging over MagSafe. It is absolutely amazing, and it has a stand on the back, and then your phone goes into that mode where it acts as like a clock. This thing can charge 3 devices at once, just like the P63. This charges 1 over Qi 2 wireless charging, and then another 2 over USB-C. Speaking of USB-C, this lanyard here comes apart to reveal an integrated USB-C cable. So you're never going to be caught out without a USB-C charging cable, and on top of that you can just leave it on the back of your iPhone with MagSafe and it will charge it while it's in your pocket. I forgot to mention that they're both covered with Inu's 3-year warranty. So you've got peace of mind there. Both of them are TSA compliant, so you can take them both on planes. No complaints whatsoever. Thank you so much Inu for sponsoring my channel. Now, back to the main video. Now let me tell you about their customer service, because honestly that's where things got messy for me. When I decided to return the keyboard, I went to their website, but the returns page didn't even exist. I finally found the returns portal, so then I had to sign up to that and log in. And then after logging in and requesting a return, it automatically rejected it, even though I was well within the 30-day money-back guarantee period. I was frustrated, so I sent them an email and then took to X and tagged the co-founder, Michael Fisher, aka Mr. Mobile. He then responded and asked for my order number via email. So I sent it to him along with the email that I had sent to Clicks, which did mention that I was going to be making this video. Within a few hours, I received an apology and I got a full refund and a packing label to send the keyboard back to them. Which is really cool, seeing as the usual process is to check the keyboard that you return for any damage and then issue a refund if everything is in order. I really did appreciate the quick response and message from Mr. Mobile, but here's the thing, I shouldn't have to jump through all of those hoops to get that result. A UK customer service rep later told me in an email that the portal was for USA and Canada only, and I needed to email for returns in the UK. That's not a great process in my opinion. Customers shouldn't have to waste their time sending emails for a return. You should have a streamlined automated return process on your website. If you look at their Trustpilot reviews, Clix has a 2.5 out of 5 rating, with complaints about shipping delays and issues with customer service. It's clear that this is a bit of a weak spot for them. In my case, yes, they solved the issue once I made some noise on X, which is great, but I shouldn't have had to do that. In conclusion, while Clix has made some improvements since its initial release, it still has some significant drawbacks that might put off a lot of users. If you're thinking about buying it and you really want a physical keyboard on your device, then go for it. The quality is great and it feels like a solid product. But for me personally, the cons outweigh the pros, which is why by the time you see this video, the Clix keyboard will already be on its way back to Hong Kong, which is where they seem to be drop shipping it from, because even if it says it'll be delivered within a couple of days, it won't, because when you track it, it comes all the way from Hong Kong. Oh, another thing, real quick, this hole that they have here for the camera control on the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max, some case manufacturers now have like a sapphire crystal thing that they put on top, so there's not a literal hole. They actually cover it with their own sapphire crystal thing that works as a camera control. Maybe do that in the next iteration of this product. It'll give it more of a premium finish instead of having a hole in the side of the case. Anyways, that's all I have to say about that. If you like the video, please drop it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. You've been watching This Brown Geek. I'll catch you in the next one.